Dr. Bennett, you're a research ecologist for the Smithsonian Migratory Bird Center, which has established a bird friendly certification for coffee. If I saw a bird friendly certification on a bag of coffee, what does that mean?
There's a lot of certifications when it comes to coffee, and it's really hard to know what all of the differences are. But our certification, bird friendly, means that 100% of the coffee in that bag was grown in a way that's good for birds, that protects habitat for them, protects the farmers, and provides really a robust, healthy environment, both for the coffee, the farmers, and the wildlife community there.
That's fascinating. So why establish bird friendly certification in the first place?
Since the 1970s, we have lost 3 billion birds in North America, and almost all of those are migratory birds. So, our center has always been interested in studying where these birds go, what's happening to them, how we can protect them. And we discovered that a large majority of these migratory birds that are going through population declines spend the winter on coffee farms throughout Latin America. So, those coffee growing areas are at mid elevations, they're typically pretty close to forest. And when the coffee is grown with shade, with native vegetation, it provides really good habitat for those migratory birds.
So you really unpacked nicely how the birds actually rely on this micro ecosystem so that they can grow and develop and foster. Is there a reciprocal relationship? Do the birds actually help how these coffees are grown?
We and some other colleagues have done research to see what the birds are actually giving back to farmers. And we found that there's a small beetle called the coffee berry borer, which is a really important pest of coffee throughout Latin America. And when coffee farms keep enough shade trees on the farms and attract these migratory birds, those birds can actually control the coffee berry borer. And that's a monetary benefit for farmers. Otherwise, they would need to rely on heavy agrochemical use, which is really expensive. But if they keep forest around their farms, if they keep some shade trees on their farms, they're actually attracting birds in that then help them for free control this really detrimental coffee pest.
I love that symbiotic relationship. So, how are the environment and the processes for bird friendly coffee different from how most coffee is grown?
Yeah, so since the 1970s, about 75% of coffee has been converted from what we would consider bird friendly coffee to full sun monocultures. So that process looks like chopping down all of the trees above the coffee, having nice, neat rows of only coffee underneath the sun, heavy agrochemical use, and that's now how most coffee is produced. But that type of habitat provides no space for birds and other wildlife. In contrast, a bird-friendly farm would have 10 to 30 different tree species planted above the coffee plants themselves, and those trees would be full of birds, full of other wildlife, ocelots, monkeys, sloths. It really sounds like a forest when you're in that type of environment. And in contrast, a full sun monoculture, it's hot, it's baked, it's pretty much lifeless.
Is the analysis of kind of the bird friendly environment almost like a litmus for a larger sustainability? Can we draw a map to how we're thinking about growing bird friendly coffee to the bigger ecosystem of how we're impacting these beautiful environments?
Yeah, absolutely. So, coffee's grown in the most biodiverse places on the planet, tropical forests. So, these ecosystems have tons and tons of life, sometimes life that hasn't even been discovered yet. And so when coffee farmers choose to keep trees on their farms, they're providing a service for all of the wildlife and all of the other ecosystem services like water conservation, water generation, carbon sequestration. So things that really impact us on a planetary scale and also impact that landscape scale where they find themselves.
How do you convince growers to sign on for establishing a bird friendly environment?
Sure. So growers are primarily business people, and they respond to market pressures. So we work in a variety of ways to encourage growers to get bird friendly certified. But the most effective one is when a coffee roaster, a coffee company in North America, decides to sell bird friendly coffee. They're typically the ones that have the power to ask growers to get certified or to choose to pay more for farms that are already certified. So that's the strongest incentive we have to encourage farmers to get certified. But we also know that farmers are environmental stewards as well. So a lot of coffee farmers feel immense pride in the wildlife that they conserve on their farms. Many of those farmers will sign up for our certification even if there's no market for it, even if they don't have a buyer that's requesting bird-friendly coffee, because having an institution like the Smithsonian say your coffee is the gold standard of biodiversity conservation is something that gives them pride and recognizes the work that they're putting into maintaining that habitat.
So, what is the ultimate goal of this bird-friendly initiative at the Smithsonian for the consumer and for the planet?
We really envision a world where coffee is grown in landscapes that conserve biodiversity, where they retain enough trees to really provide those ecosystem services and support birds on the farm. So Smithsonian Bird Friendly Coffee is still a small certification. We're not found in every grocery store yet, and we really depend on consumers knowing about this and saying, yes, I want that coffee that comes from places that are good for birds and good for wildlife and good for farmers. And that bolsters the certification and hopefully creates a world where there's more space for both coffee and birds.